I went to the games with a suitcase and then just didn't go back. It was funny. I remember breaking the world record and I was just disappointed. Everyone was going crazy, like new world record. And I was like, man. Eventually our team manager, Martin at the time, was just like, just go. And I was just like, what is going on? And just got pushed up onto the track. And I'm like, instantly locked in. Like, it was distracting, but I was like, I have a job to do here.
It was honestly the craziest thing I've ever witnessed.
Shemai Emma.
Shemai Manon.
And welcome back to Watts Occurring Femmes, brought to you by Rouvy, hosted by Pinarello. And today we've got another guest on. And Emma, I think you should introduce this guest.
It says I meant to say he's a very special guest, and I guess he is in some ways, but yeah. My partner Matty is going to be on the podcast today talking all things world record and how he got into the sport. So welcome.
Shemai.
Hello.
Shemai. Nailed it.
Thanks for having me.
So good to have you. I feel like we've spoken about you on the podcast already quite a lot, but it's all been from Emma's point of view. So it'll be really good to hear things, your side of the story. And I guess probably a good place to start is the recent world record that you broke twice. When did you decide that you were going to go for this world record?
Probably the most like official decision was 4 months before I actually did it. That's sort of the amount of time you have to give the UCI for notifying you want to do a world record. But I've wanted to do this for years and years. Like the closer, probably Harry and me are probably the only two riders, but the closer we got to going sort of low 9, the more I sort of realized that we could actually go under.
Yeah.
And being the first to break a barrier obviously stays forever. So I wanted to be the first one.
Get in there before Harry.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I did it.
And you said you've wanted to do it for years. Did you ever think that it would be possible one day?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you've got to have that belief in yourself that it is going to be possible. I mean, I was obviously capable of riding 9.0 at the Paris Olympics at sea level. So going to altitude would give me that extra bit of boost. So yeah, coming into the actual record, I was very confident. A couple of years ago, less so. Yeah. But obviously the stronger and faster I got in the last couple of years, the more confident I got.
And this was kind of, I guess, the perfect time to do it because there hasn't been like that much race and you could like fully focus on it. What did your training look like leading up? Because, you know, it's under 9 seconds. It's so short. What kind of training were you doing to prepare for it?
Earlier in the year, after sort of the Christmas period, it was quite general. Like coming into the World Cup at the start of the year, we're in sort of a general prep sort of phase. And then the closer I got to the record, the more and more specific it got. It got to a point where I basically took out like a start session each week, which normally I basically had a start session every week of my entire life because team sprint is such an important event that we have to focus on. But given that I had this opportunity where I could not do that and gain a whole nother track session a week to focus purely on flying efforts, basically, that's what I did. That was about 6 weeks out. So about 6 weeks from Konya, I put race wheels in and got all the equipment that I was going to ride there, basically everything, and just started punching out track sessions super specific to the actual record.
And you were obviously pretty confident going into it because Emma said that you broke the record before you kind of even got there, but it was unofficial or didn't count?
Well, you broke it. You said you did like a roll through, so like we call it like a practice, a pre-race day, and he actually broke it there, but didn't go sub. But went close to going sub. Yeah. A couple of days before.
And what was the one with it? What was the one? Did you say something about knocking the pads or something?
So in Konya in February, you went to the Nations Cup and you broke the world record, but came off the track.
Oh, off the track.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Yeah, you were quite confident.
It was almost unfinished business.
Yeah. From coming back for more.
Plus, I didn't go sub 9.
Yeah.
You know, and so like, it was funny. I remember breaking the world record, rolling around at the top. Obviously, you take time to roll down and slow down because we don't have brakes. And I was just disappointed.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like everyone was going crazy, like new world record. And I was like, man, I didn't do it. I didn't do what I wanted to do. I've already been 9-0. I don't want to go 9-0 again. I have no desire to go 9-0 again. Yeah. It was about going sub. And I think in that moment, I was kind of always wanted to do it again.
Yeah.
And kind of, almost instantly thought that's not good enough. I want to do this again.
Yeah.
And then they took the world record away anyway. But
it was almost like a blessing in disguise because then it allowed you to actually like focus on the record and like prep for it and get a bike for it and almost like.
Yes, definitely. I mean, whether I retained the world record in that moment or not, I was going back. I was going back to do it. The fact I didn't go sub 9 at that comp was a blessing in disguise because so much more opportunity came out of doing it as a standalone event.
Yeah.
I think it was, I think it was a bigger thing being at its
Definitely, yeah.
own competition, well, not quite competition, but own event. Whereas the Chinese girl that did it, rode sub 10 at the World Cup, kind of got missed.
Yeah, it just kind
You know
of
what I mean?
like,
Like, it was kind of
yeah.
just part of the comp, and at World Cups, the flying 200 is obviously at the start of the sprint competition, so it's in the morning, which is never televised, and no one saw it.
Yeah.
I still haven't
That's
seen the
very
ride
true.
Yeah,
since.
that actually is true. Like, I only knew about it, I think,
she
from
made
you.
history,
Yeah.
and like
No one knows about
it
it.
was just in the morning session at a World Cup, so
Yeah.
like kind of got missed.
Maybe there should be like one day a year where everybody can go to a really fast track and just have a crack at these world records. And
That would
that is
be-
the only competition.
That would be crazy.
Just
That
like a
would be-
world record
that'd be
competition.
intense.
No
That'd be
one's tapering
intense.
for the game, so they were, everyone just go for this. To be fair, I would.
Yeah, and obviously you broke the you broke your own record, so you broke it twice. Was that kind of the plan? Because you did it again the next day, didn't you?
I did, yeah. So the plan wasn't to obviously have 2 days to try and break it again. It was for multiple different reasons of if I got sick, having an extra day to maybe recover from that sickness, or if something went wrong on the first day, or what ended up happening, wanting to go again and try and break it. So it was multiple reasons, but obviously the way it worked out was actually quite nice, because I kind of like just crept under 9 the first time, which is kind of like, oh, like he did it, like 8.9, cool. And then I just like smashed it the second day, rather than just going 8.8 straight away. And everyone's like, yeah, that wasn't very hard, was it? You know what I mean? Like just do it a little bit and then be like, right, I've got more in the tank. And then try and obliterate it the second day. So it worked out.
Were you
quite nice.
confident that you had like a bit more in you?
Oh yeah. Big time.
Emma said it was also like the kind of the line you took on the track that kind of helped as well.
Yeah, big time. So the first day we had a lot of different stuff going on with the commissaires and rulings and made up rulings and all sorts of different stuff.
Really?
Yeah. It was absolute carnage.
That's probably not what you want on when you're trying to like.
Absolutely not.
It was honestly the craziest thing I've ever witnessed.
What kind of?
It was like, I won't get into it too much, but like there's all these gray areas in the rules. And obviously record attempts or records have taken place, all the time.
Yeah.
Right, in the past. Whether it's an hour record or flying 200 meter record or a kilo record or whatever it is. So we were kind of referencing what had taken place at different records, trying to replicate the same thing with like pad positions and different little elements, right? And they just decided to just change absolutely everything and just start making up rules just for mine. And given that 2 hour records took place that morning, you'd think there would be some sort of level of consistency at least
so they were different
over
again
the course of the day.
for
And then
you?
it got to mine and everyone just decided to start
Really?
making up rules. And it was honestly so ridiculous, but I had to just put my head down and go for it. But yeah, basically I was told that if I touch the blue at any point, right, they're not going to ratify the world record. Right. And I was like, this is ridiculous.
Since when has that been a thing?
I literally watched Will Bergfeld and Charlie Will was pretty tidy. Charlie was suffering in his hour records. He was off the track, on the track, hitting pad, missing pad, just like all over.
Gosh.
And then I get out there and they're like, blue band is lava, right? So I rode the whole thing at the red line because I was like
Terrified
I
of
prepared
touching
4
that.
months for this. And that was 10 minutes before I went up.
Really?
He came over to me and he was like, you touch the boot, doesn't count.
And
And I was just
especially
like-
the last time you did it, you literally came off. Like
the
last
track's
time,
really hard to ride.
Yeah, he came off
Which is why I
the
was so
track.
fearful of this. So there's a couple tracks in the world that are the same. They're built by the same person. And I don't know what it is. I still can't figure it out. But as you come out the corner, it straightens up more than you think, but like not enough to ride straight. So you still have to kind of keep turning, but you feel like you're in a corner. So you basically just steer off the track.
Yeah.
Right. And it just throws you down in the straight. So I just rode the whole thing in the red just to try and avoid that. So basically I rode red in the corners and then got thrown down to like middle of the sprint lane and then red and then sprint lane. So
Gosh.
I lost a lot of time,
Yeah.
which I knew I could get back, but I needed to get one in the bank on the first day to just basically do it. And like we were talking about before, so I broke the world record, I guess, unofficially in training doing a flying 100 roll through. So you do a flying 100 and then you kind of just hold position at the black just to feel the rest of the track. And that was 9.06.
I got that.
9.04. But anyway.
I got that wrong.
You
See,
swapped
this is
them. You
why-
said
this is why we needed you on here.
You said 9.04 for that one and 9.06 for the record in Konya earlier in the year. But they
Sorry,
were the right
guys,
times,
sorry.
just the wrong days. It's fine.
It's a lot of numbers to remember.
There's a lot of numbers going on. There's a lot of
Yeah.
numbers going on.
Pretty close.
But yeah, so I was confident there was more because my 100-meter split on the day was slightly slower than I did in training the day before.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I obviously upgraded my suit and things like that. I had some faster equipment for the actual day. So again, it was kind of like, I did it, but I knew there was more. So I kind of went home and just locked in.
Did you, like, as soon as you finished, you like obviously really happy, but were you like, oh, I've got like a bit more in me?
There was a whole lot of different emotion because I felt like I got like a little bit of unfair treatment from the commissaire on the day and things like that. Like I said to him afterwards, like, please don't ever do that again.
Especially like 10 minutes before.
Yeah, well, it got to a point where even I was like about to go, right? I'd like timed everything to perfection because like you have such a controllable environment. You might as well utilize that to your advantage, where I could go up like on the second of when I wanted to. I'm not waiting for another race to finish. I'm not waiting for other stuff to happen.
It hasn't been a crash and it's been delayed.
No, exactly. So I timed my warm up to perfection where I knew what time I needed to take my hot pants off, get up out of the chair, walk over to my bike, clip in, roll around to Pinky, who was on the back straight, ready to push me up.
Yeah.
And I'm over there and I'm like, Pinky, you ready? And he's like, yeah, let's go. And then I just hear like a, wait, from like across the track.
No.
And I was like, oh, like, is it not 4 o'clock yet? Like, cause I can't go before 4. So I was like, is it not 4? Whatever. And they're like, no, we're still waiting on like confirmation from the UCI.
Stop.
And I was
Mate,
like,
it's horrific.
I just exploded at this point. I was just like, like, what the are you talking about?
Yeah.
You know, and we're just like yelling at each other from across the track, and there's no one in there, so it's super echoey, and it's just like,
It was so bad.
and I remember like eventually our team manager Martin at the time was just like, just go, and I was just like,
Yeah.
what is going on?
Yeah.
And just got pushed up onto the track, and I'm like instantly locked in. Like it was distracting, but I was like, I have a job to do here. Like I'm not letting someone else ruin 4 months of preparation for this. So I just had to lock in, and obviously I still had in the back of my mind, you touch the blue, it doesn't count. So then I rode the red, and that was that. But I knew without all that happening on day 2, that can add up to a lot of time.
Yeah.
It's crazy because I was like, I don't know how you locked. In my head, I was like, has he locked in? Because I was watching it all happen. Then you went, and I was like, is he like? Does he know what's going on? Or because I wouldn't be able to do it. Could you
hear like what
Yeah,
happened?
I was literally next to the guy on the phone with the UCI, and I was like, "Can you make it
on the phone?" They've known for however long, but you're going at 4 o'clock. Why is it now that they're doing?
Well,
that?
I was like, "Make a decision."
Yeah,
and they're like, "Just go." And then
that's what happened on day 2.
Yeah.
So we go on day 2, and I'm like, I mean, bless him, but like our team manager at the time was Martin, and he's like head of stores. You know what I mean? So like the team here is just like kind of just a few people from the track put together to like send to Conyers. It wasn't like my coach. It wasn't like a normal team manager that's experienced at competitions or anything like that.
So your coach wasn't there with you?
No. Well, Jason's got 12 other athletes that he's got to look after in preparation for the World Championship back in Manchester. So it was kind of a bit of a solo mission almost a little bit. But I got to work with new people that I haven't worked with before, and Pinky was amazing. Great guy, great to work with. But yeah, I was kind of like taking it on myself to like sort out the situation on the second day. So as soon as I get to the track, it's like full like debate with the UCI basically at this point. And we were talking about pads and the position of the pads and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, right, where do you want them? Right. And he moved them to where he wanted them. And then I could demonstrate basically with my bike that how much I'm leant over in the corner, given the speeds I'm hitting, I'm capable of hitting a pad with my foot.
Really?
Because you're just so leant over, which is why the pads got taken away in the first place from competition. Is people hitting them with their feet. And you can't ride on the blue in the corner anyway, because the speed you're going in track cycling, you crash. Because it's flat.
Just slide out.
So it's like, I literally said to him, you're making this really unsafe because I'm traveling over 85k an hour. If I hit this with my foot, that's not going to be good. So we agreed on a different position in the corner. But it got to the point where I was just like, all we're doing here is calling the UCI.
Yeah.
Like, what are you here for? You're the UCI commissaire here.
Yeah.
Like, are you capable of making decisions?
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, I can. And I was like, then make some.
Yeah, do it.
And then we kind of hashed it out and sorted it. And
we
heard
about all
we were kind of headbutting on day 1, but day 2 we kind of made up.
We besties.
Yeah, we were besties.
We heard about all the pad drama.
Oh yeah,
Emma saving the day and bringing the pads out as well.
Yeah, we thought the pad drama was done when Emma got there with the
only just
suit
started.
base.
Only
And
just
it was
started.
only just the beginning, wasn't it?
Oh my gosh, it was. I've never experienced. It was carnage.
There's so much to deal with when you should just have you know that one focus.
Yeah.
But you had an empty velodrome as well. Was that weird?
It's a bit of a double-edged sword, right? Because obviously the crowd brings a different level of performance, or can do, depending on who you are. Some people need it, right? Some people can't perform if it's just them in an empty velodrome. Me, I didn't mind it, right? Because it's kind of just like really controllable, really focused environment. And obviously with a big crowd there, normally that means that there's a lot of people on the infield as well because it's competition. So there's just all sorts going on, where it was just me and a few key people that I needed to be there, and that was it. And I'm someone who has no issue switching it on and locking in when I need to. Like in training, in every effort, I can go 100% and it'd be a pretty good time. So really, it was no different. I think the only thing a crowd probably would have added is probably just body heat, and probably just made the velodrome even hotter, and maybe made the conditions slightly better. But other than that, it didn't really have much of an effect on me.
Do you think your record will be broken anytime soon?
Well, European Championships is in Konya next year. Same track. But February, probably going to be snowing. So I think the second day, the time I did on the second day, stands a good chance of surviving Euros next year.
Yeah, surviving.
I mean, there's only one person that can do it. There's only one person that can do it. It's Harry, of course, right? And if Harry does it, it's like, fair play.
Yeah, I'll take that.
You Harry the race. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I think he's the only one that could possibly do it.
Is there any other track in the world that could? That could go. Yeah.
Yeah. There's Aguascalientes. That's in Mexico. It's 1,800 meters. And then there's one in Bolivia. I'm not going to pronounce the actual name because I'm probably going to butcher it. But that's at 2,800 meters. Okay. So that's where Nicholas Paul went 9.1. That stood for a few years there, until the Olympics. So there's some tracks. But the thing with the flying effort is track shape is really important. And that's why Paris is so fast, because it's just the absolute dream to do a flying effort on. And Konya's similar, but it's got the altitude. Whereas the other tracks, I haven't scoped them out, but I don't think they're as wide or as steep as Konya. Plus, Konya I'd been to, and Konya I'd done a flying 200 on, and Konya was a lot closer, which is why we picked it. But yeah, you can go higher if you want to.
Yeah. What's your favorite track that you've ridden?
Paris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that did you say that as well?
I said Paris and Glasgow.
Yeah, you said Glasgow. Yeah, because
that's
fair though.
Yeah.
Like first world title.
I guess for track though, it's not actually. It is a nice track to ride, but it's quite a difficult track to ride.
Yeah.
But Paris is a dream. I guarantee a lot of track cyclists will say Paris.
Yeah, it's just so nice to ride. Like
it's huge.
It's never nice riding tracks where it feels like you weren't able to go as fast as you could have because of the transition or the banking or whatever it is. I mean, some people's favorite tracks are somewhere that holds sentimental value.
Yeah.
Other people, it's just what feels the quickest and is nicest to ride. But yeah, for me, it's Paris.
Do you have one?
I did. It's totally different, but the one in Colombia, Cali.
Oh, I've never.
And
it's got open corners.
Yeah, it's probably not very fast, but it's just the memories I have there of there being so many people. I think tickets were maybe free to go and watch, and just everybody came and just it was just
World Cups used to happen there back in the day when there used to be 6 a season.
Yeah.
And they go to Cali a lot of the time.
Yeah. Damn, have you ridden that?
No,
track?
I've never been there. Yeah, no, it was after my time.
We had 5 spokes on the front. Couldn't ride double discs because it was windy.
Really?
Yeah.
Mate, at our Nations Cup now, it's 10 people in the crowd.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
they keep putting it in more and more whack places.
Yeah, true.
So it's but then I don't know, either not advertising it good enough to reach the people in that country. And then it's oh, no one came to watch. Awesome.
Yeah.
That's really going to grow our sport.
It
is.
I mean, it's such a good sport to watch.
You got to put it in. I think you got to start by putting it in places where a lot of people can come and watch.
Because I feel
tickets.
put it in London.
Yeah.
Always
full,
sell out.
100%.
Yeah. We are delighted to be working with Rouvy on Watts Occurring Femmes, and we have a great offer for you. You can use promo code FEMMES, FEMMES, for an additional 30 days on top of the 7-day free trial.
This is applicable to new subscribers only.
Rouvy's on a mission to bring the indoors to the outdoors, connecting you with real routes from around the world to your home. And in the summer, you can utilise Rouvy to do specific training sessions or to hide from the heatwave.
Rouvy's new Route Creator tool also allows riders to upload their favourite loops onto Rouvy. Everyone can easily convert their own video into a virtual route to ride at home. We've got some big plans with Rouvy over the next few months, so watch this space.
And remember to use the code FEMMES, FEMMES, for an extra month on us when you subscribe for the first time. I think we should go back to the very start. How did you get into cycling? Where did your journey start?
It started in the Mid-Vale Speed Dome in Perth, in Western Australia.
Speed Dome, I like the sound of that.
Oh, it's a pretty cool track.
It's not very speedy.
Is it not? Is it
no,
a velodrome?
It is a dome though.
It's a velodrome. Yeah, it's a velodrome.
Yeah, it's a velodrome. Oh, yeah. I've been track through and through since the beginning.
Yeah.
I feel like most people are like, yeah, I rode with my dad, on the road when I was 3 years old. And then you know what I mean? And then you become an endurance rider and that's it.
So you were straight in?
I was just like straight from gymnastics into track cycling.
So you're a gymnast?
I was a gymnast, yeah.
Oh, it's from when to when?
I started when I was 2. My first competition was when I was 4. So there's not a time that I remember where I wasn't
an athlete.
I don't know. You can only be so much of an athlete at 4 years old, right? But yeah, not being involved in kind of high performance sport.
Yeah.
Didn't you say you stopped gymnastics and then the day after went straight into cycling?
Yeah, I was already doing a bit of track cycling. So I went to watch a race at the Speed Dome. A lady from my local cycling club, Midland Cycle Club, was going around trying to scout more people into the sport. Their club night was a Wednesday night. That was the one night off gymnastics I actually had, because gymnastics is
I
like
can
full
imagine
gas.
that's intense.
And obviously as I think I was 13, 14, I was just like, yeah, let's fill the one afternoon I have off with more sport. So I went and tried track cycling and I mean, I think it's easy to be like, yeah, and then absolutely fell in love with it. But like I really did. Like it was awesome. It was so different from gymnastics.
Yeah.
And I was just like, obviously just hammering around in circles on this steep banking. It was awesome. And it made a big difference as well. The community in the club of Midland Cycle Club, where they had, a whole bunch of athletes my age and we were all starting together, and it was a great time. And I was still doing gymnastics on the side. And then I got an elbow injury, and it was basically sat in the doctor's office, got told you have to have 18 months off if you want to let this fully recover. And at this point I'd already done gymnastics for 11 years. So I was like, you know what? That'll do.
Yeah.
And
do you think were you ready to call it a day?
Yeah, I was ready to give it up.
Yeah.
Like I was just like,
what kind of gymnastics did you do?
Artistic men's gymnastics. So it's like 6 apparatus.
Do you reckon if you'd continued, you'd like be...
I get asked that a lot.
Yeah, like do you reckon like you'd be at an Olympic level, or like where do you think you would have got with it?
I think I would have had a chance for sure. I mean, I was on sort of national team pool of people basically. Like we'd go to like the AIS and do camps and things like that, and I was obviously competing at nationals and things like that. But you're such a young age, like it's like under 15s.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like stopping cycling when you're under 15 and someone being like, do you think you would have gone to the
Olympics?
I
guess people go to the Olympics when they're like 12 in gymnastics.
Gymnastics and diving, people go at quite a young age.
Yeah.
I think that's because the retirement age is a lot earlier. So like everything shifts earlier because it's so brutal. Your body can't do it for as long.
How many hours were you training when you were doing gymnastics?
30 hours or something like that.
And school?
Oh yeah, it was 2 hours before school, 3.5 after school. Yeah, we'd have a special bus that would go rounds. There was so basically I was in like the WASTE program, Western Australian Institute of Sport.
Waste press.
They're short and everything. Don't worry. Like, everything's like
a waste of time program, basically.
Short.
But yeah, so the WASTE schools would have a bus driver go around and pick all of us up in like a row and then take us to
every single day
training, drop us off.
Gosh.
Yeah. So there was a lot of hours.
Yeah, but I guess like having that experience, knowing how much you need to train to be good, probably helped going into cycling.
Well, yeah, because I went straight into sprint cycling. Yeah. And one of the first things one of my coaches told me was less is more. Yeah. And I was like, fantastic. Because gymnastics is just like more is more.
Yeah.
And then even then it's not enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just like massive breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
Being like, you just do a bit of gym and a bit of track and then rest.
It's
amazing.
Yeah. So how come you went straight into sprint?
Because of the strength and sort of power and coordination of gymnastics, it was kind of the natural choice. And I think I just wanted to go as fast as I possibly can as well. I dabbled a little bit in endurance riding just because my friends in the club would also do it on the road here and there.
Do you enjoy it?
I enjoyed spending time with my friends.
Yeah.
The race I got dropped. Like I remember pushing myself so hard in this like C grade race.
Or
that I like blacked out and crashed just off the side of the road by myself.
You just crashed?
Yeah, I just like went so deep. And then
Is
just
it a road
like
race?
I just rode off the side of the road and crashed.
Did you shut your eyes or something?
I like blacked out.
Really?
I was like in the red so bad.
Oh,
and then I was just
grim.
like I looked up and I was just like in the gravel and was like rah and like binned it.
This decision, no more endurance.
It was like a circuit of like 10K or something with like a massive hill every lap. And it was at the end of that, like the third time.
Yeah.
I was done.
That's when you knew you could hurt yourself.
I was already in like the dropped group as well.
You got dropped from the drop group.
And that's, I think that was the last time I raced there. It was called Pickering Brook. And I think it's the last time I raced there. And that was it. That was kind of the nail in the coffin for me, where I need to be a sprint athlete.
Crashed.
What was your first competition and how well did you do?
I think one of my first competitions was the race that got me like into the sport, but just like a year later.
Oh, really?
So it's called the Westrel Wheel Race.
Oh, I think I've watched this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen this.
And I almost won it.
You
was so
showed me
good.
this.
Anyway, I got beaten by Sam Wilson. He was like world champion.
So what kind of race was it?
So it's called a wheel race, right? So a whole bunch of other races go on as well. Like a couple sprints, keirin, scratch races, blah, blah, blah. But the main event is this wheel race. And a lot of them happen in Australia across each state. And then there's the Austral as well, which is like the Australian wheel race. Okay. But anyway, this was just the Western Australian one.
Okay.
And it's a handicap. You have heats, because obviously lots of people enter it. And you have heats of, I don't know, maybe 15, 20 people, and you're all spaced out around the track based on what the organizer thinks you're kind of like rated at. If you're a scratch rider, you're like the best, and you're on the start finish line. Everyone else gets an advantage, and it's 6 laps, and everyone has a pusher, and you like get pushed off, and then it's just as hard as you can for 6 laps. I was like, I'm pretty sure I could see Welsford at like the start finish line, so I had like 200 meters on him and 6 laps to like hold it off.
Yeah.
And I just went for it. Normally you kind of like form up.
Yeah.
Chops, we call them, but like...
Chop, is that good?
Yeah.
It's like a whole different language, isn't it?
Mate,
Yeah.
honestly, yeah.
Like you're in the chop. I think it's because you chop up the money at the end and like split it out.
Oh,
yeah,
that's not what I thought it was
there's
gonna-
cash
I thought it was-
involved. I was in no chop. I was going for glory. I was keeping every penny, but I didn't keep any pennies because I lost. Yeah, he caught me with like half a lap to go, but it was
It's
it's
a
pretty
good
hype.
watch.
It's a
good
pretty hype
watch.
video.
Yeah.
The video's funny.
Yeah, I was tiny in it as well. But yeah, that was
So
probably...
how old are you then?
I would have been 15, I think.
15, yeah.
Yeah.
So what age was it that you realised this is what I want to do as a career?
Probably like second year under 19s, I think. I think as a junior and as a youngster, you just focused on like getting to the next race and getting to the next step and being faster than your friend and like all that. It's very basic sort of mindset. And then you get to sort of the elite level, although under 19s, but still international stage. And you're like, next year I step up, next year I go elite. Like you kind of have a choice to make. Do you want to go to university and study? I mean, obviously people do both, but there's a bit of a choice there. Like, do I just pursue a normal life career or do I commit to track cycling? So, I mean, the ball was rolling and I was getting faster and faster and faster. So I kind of came out of school, committed to second year under 19s, and then just kind of kept it rolling and just kept committing to it, trying to make that next step into the national team.
How did you get into the national team?
So I was kind of coming through in a period where they were starting up an academy. So in Australia, it's not like it is here where you have academies all the way down to like 6-year-olds. I mean, I know it's a bit dramatic, but like it feels like every person with a bike here almost gets supported in some way.
Yeah.
In Australia, you're either top 4 guys in the country, you're not in the national team, right? But the state institute system is very good. So WACE, what I was talking about before, was the Western Australian one. So I was in that for track cycling. You get coached, gym, track, everything you kind of need. You just don't get paid, right? So you kind of got to like make it work. Like I was working as well as like in a kitchen.
How old
at
were
like
you
a school
at this
camp.
point?
I was 19.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was just working every now and then.
How was work? How's kitchen work?
It was awful.
Awful.
It was awful. Like,
What did you have
so
to do?
much time. I was like,
Weren't you like on a move list at one point?
I was like cutting up carrots and like cracking eggs and just being like in the kitchen, like
Nice.
helping out. And then I was like serving the kids. Like I remember standing there with like hairnet on. So yeah, I just committed to trying to make the national team. And what I was saying before, I was coming through in a time where they were setting up an academy, and that kind of bridged the gap a little bit where it opened up 4 more spots. So I basically got into that at the end of 2018, and October 2018. I just done Oceania Championships, and then a month later I relocated to Adelaide and started my journey there in the academy.
So did you go to the 2021
Yes.
Olympics? Yeah.
Yes.
How was that?
It was good. I mean, the kind of mindset going into that was just make the team. You know, like you just, at that sort of age, you're just prioritizing. I mean, it's different for everyone, but in my journey, I was just like, make the team. Because one time I got into the team, I only had, well, obviously, they kind of select it probably six months-ish before the games, which we still thought was going to happen in 2020.
Yeah, I think I remember. Yeah, they announced
So I was still only
it.
20 years old, so I was
Yeah.
like, just make it, get into the team, make it. I'd only been there for a year, so I was like just commit to just going to the Olympics, which obviously shifts at the next one, becomes less about making the team, more about getting results.
Yeah. And how was your first games experience? Obviously, it's very different because it was COVID.
I mean, for everyone, it was different because some people had previous Olympics to compare to. Like a lot of the time, people were like, oh, this was nothing like London. This was nothing like Rio, like that sort of thing. But for me, it was my first game, so I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like it was an interesting experience. I didn't love the quarantine on the way back. I think Australia and New Zealand were one of the only countries where we'd finished the Olympics. And then I had to do like 2 weeks in prison camp, basically, because we're like COVID risk.
Oh, that's so
you like finish the games and you want to like
celebrate with your family.
or like go on a break or like do
them.
something, and you're just like stuck in a hotel for 2 weeks. Yeah.
That's pretty grim.
So that was kind of my only like negative-ish experience with the games. Other than that, I absolutely loved it. Like Japan's a cool country. It's a shame, again, we couldn't really leave the hotel or do anything. But again, I had nothing to compare it to, so it just felt like a normal competition, but obviously at a high level, which I think is a good thing. I think a lot of people could easily come unraveled in Olympics because they just, it's the Olympics and it's bigger than everything else. And if you just treat it as another track cycling competition where we're all riding around in circles, you can kind of perform at the level you want to.
Just simplify it.
Yeah.
Well, what events did you race there?
I raced everything. So the sprint, the team sprint and the Keirin. We finished fourth in the team sprint, which was like the fifth Olympics in a row where we finished fourth.
Really?
Yeah. But again, not for me. That was the first time for me. So I was like, still like, it's not too bad.
Yeah.
And then like 17th in the sprint and like even worse than the Keirin maybe. So, but I'm just glad I made it.
Yeah, just happy to be there.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I just could kind of use that experience for Paris, that knowing that it didn't rattle me, it didn't, mess with my head too much, and I could kind of perform if I needed to.
So what was your first kind of big result on the track?
That's a good question. I mean, the first World Cup I went to, we won. That was pretty cool. That was in Hong Kong.
Okay.
We just joined the academy because it was like an academy World Cup that we went to. Well,
Okay.
us as an academy went.
Okay.
It was a proper World Cup. But yeah, we won the team sprint there, which was pretty awesome. So we'd only been in the
So what
academy
year
for
was
like
that?
3 months. That was the start of 2019.
Okay.
Yeah.
So before the Olympics.
Yeah.
Oh, you kind of went
well
straight
before.
like nationals team straight into like
A World Cup.
nations.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty intense.
Yeah, and it was fun. And
Yeah.
we won, and that was pretty cool. And then, I don't know, I kind of built a bit of momentum from there. I was P1 in the team sprint at the time, which kind of limited my ability to do sprint and Keirin at a high level because the training is slightly different. Because you only have one lap to do, you focus everything on short, sharp power efforts. Whereas sprint and Keirin, you kind of need a little bit more length and a little bit more aerobic capacity to do those efforts, but also repeat it over the course of a day. So I was kind of just focused on P1, and that was my ticket to the game. So I just committed to that for the next couple of years, which meant I didn't quite get that many results. I can kind of see it as like almost relating to like a domestique in the peloton, where they kind of have a role to play, and that obviously sacrifices their own ability to get some individual results. And it's kind of like that with P1. You kind of sacrifice the individual part of the sport, where sprint, Keirin, that sort of thing, to prioritize the team. And obviously you can win team events. But yeah. So
When did you move to 2 and 3? Like, why did you move from 1? Like, what was
it? Kind of got to a point, I think, in 1 where I was getting bigger and stronger, and I was getting to a point where my physiology would start to suit 2 and 3 more. And we're in a period where we had other athletes that could step into 1, which allowed me to pursue position 2. I'd also done a little bit of position 2 in the lead up to the Tokyo Olympics, just to try different positions and see if there was a different combination that was faster, and actually rode quite well. So we knew that after the Olympics, that could be an avenue for me to pursue. So I did, and I haven't been back in 1 since.
Wait, you 3?
Yeah.
Have you always been 3?
Yes, pretty much. I came onto team sprint. It was 2 for women for a while. And to be fair, actually, I was a P1.
Were you?
As a junior. Don't know why. Never went sub 20, like 20 seconds for a lap. And then I got into the senior program and it changed to 3. And then I just slotted straight into 3. Because I wasn't like, I'm not really a big, like not big punch, but like a punchier rider for 1.
Yeah.
And then 2 was kind of, there was so many people going for 2. And like 3 was really new. So just slotted straight.
Give it a go.
Yeah, and it works for me.
Yeah.
Like, I quite like it.
Nice.
Quite like being in 3. 1's not for me.
No.
No, it's too...
You wouldn't change it up?
No, it's too specific. It's too short. I feel like what Matty was saying, it's when you do sprint and Keirin, you can't really... I mean, P1s have done it, like Kate Marchant at the games, roding the Kieran, she's a P1, but it's quite hard to do both.
So if you ride like P3, does that mean that you are also doing Kieran and the sprint events? Is
Not
that
necessarily.
not
No,
necessarily?
Well, like I said at the games, I was P1 at the Tokyo Olympics and I
Yeah.
rode sprint and Kieran.
Oh yeah.
So not necessarily. Like your position 3 in the team sprint in some scenarios is in 3 because they kind of have to be. They can't fill another spot. But then peak speed wise, they might not be as fast as the other 2 members. So you'd ride them in sprint and Kieran. I'd say definitely sprint. Kieran, I mean, it depends on the rider, but you might make an argument that the third wheel might do a better job in Kieran given the length of the race. But it really depends on the team and the individuals, I think. Generally, on average, the P2s and 3s are the ones that ride sprint and Kieran, but not all the time.
A reminder that today's show is hosted by Pinarello, and we're lucky enough to be in the Wilmslow store today. And me and Emma actually both love riding at F-Series bikes, don't we, Emma?
We do.
We went on a ride recently together,
we
didn't we?
The cafe ride was really, really fun. And I've actually ridden a lot more on the road since having my new bike. It makes such a difference.
Do you love it?
Yeah, I absolutely love it. The white on the road against the kit is amazing. It's such a dream to ride.
This is your start of you becoming a road rider in the future.
No, guys, don't worry about that. But it does make a huge difference having a nice bike and being able to go out. I think, yeah, it definitely makes it more enjoyable. It definitely makes you want to go out because you have this such a nice bike underneath you. And yeah, I do really enjoy it.
Don't just take our word for it. Head to your local Pinarello retailer and check out the whole range for yourself.
Search Pinarello store locator to find your nearest store.
Moving on to the 2024 Olympics. How was that? Obviously very different to the other Olympics that you'd been to.
Yeah, a lot different given we didn't have to spit into a little tube every morning to test for COVID. But again, like
Forgot about that.
we weren't in the village because track cycling generally is at a track that already exists further out from the main city or where the village is. So both Emma and I, not same hotel, but we both stayed at different hotels. Obviously it was still riding for Australia then. So yeah, it was a different experience, but still ultimately the Olympics and a big competition and one I needed to focus on.
And so your mindset was, you said that going into the first Olympics, it was just like getting there. Going into this one, what was different?
Like I knew I had a good chance to win medals. So you just focus on that basically. You're not worried about trying to make the team. You're focused on performance and getting yourself there in the best physical shape. Just like you do at World Championships in the years previous. Everything was about the games and preparing for that and basically coming home and delivering.
How was it going into it as more of like a favourite? Like, did you change anything? Did you have to deal with anything differently or?
No, I think with the experience that I had from Tokyo, knowing that I could handle the pressure of the Olympics and I was capable of treating it the same as like a World Championship or other events, I just did the same thing. I knew I could perform at World Championships and it's the same, like it's the same people.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like a World Cup or a World Championship, but everyone's just absolutely pinging and they're just going super fast.
I found it so
hopefully
different.
So are you. Yeah, well, everyone has their own experience. And it was your first games.
Yeah.
It was my second and it's,
True.
you know, just at different points in your career. And it's going to be like, it will probably be rare for two athletes to have the exact same experience of the Olympics. It's different for everybody. Yes, 2 silvers and a bronze. Well, yeah, like I was saying before, how we've got 4th in the men's team sprint every Olympics for 5 years. We finally broke the curse and we got bronze. It was a bit touch and go because we kind of messed up our second ride again and it was a bit like, oh no, like we have to not 4th again. Like it was like, how are we still in the bronze final? Like what is going on? And we kind of swapped the order around a little bit. I stepped into 3. We put Matt in 1, Lee in 2. Had a gamble and it paid off luckily. But yeah, the other lineup wasn't working for the first 2 rides, so we had to change something.
And out of the 3 medals, what was the most meaningful or what one means the most?
Oh, that's a good question.
That is a great question.
I don't
Obviously,
know this.
Something you don't know
something
about
I
him.
don't know.
The team sprint obviously carries its own feeling of accomplishment because of the amount of years we'd had getting 4th, but also like doing it as a team, you know, and kind of banding together and working as a team. It obviously is really special, and that was my first Olympic medal. It's the first time I stepped onto an Olympic podium, so probably the bronze, to be honest. And you win the bronze.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
I
true.
love that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
You win it.
Yeah,
and you're so
that's
close.
true,
Like it was
isn't it?
so close to like 4th again.
Yeah.
And then we got bronze, and it was like just a
Yeah.
massive weight off our shoulders. Whereas the silver in sprint, I lost to get silver. And Kieran's a bit different because you do win the silver in Kieran. But at that point, it was my third Olympic medal. So it was just like, so close to gold. And it was a bit frustrating, almost a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, probably the bronze.
Oh, nice. And it was very soon after Paris that you decided to do the move back to the UK. Talk us through that. Has this been something that's been on your mind for a long time and you felt like you needed to do it? Or when did you decide that it was a move you wanted to make?
I probably fully committed December 2023. So like, kind of the end of the year leading in. That was when I decided I was going to do it, basically. But I wanted to do it for ages. It was just picking sort of the right time. And I felt like obviously I still had the Olympics to go, but up until that point, if the Olympics goes the way I want it to, I would have achieved everything I kind of like want to achieve, and I'm satisfied. Yeah, I just fancied a new chapter and new experience. It's not every day you get the opportunity to kind of hit the refresh button mid-career and have a whole change. Obviously on the road, people get to do it by changing teams and things like that and different environments. On the track, you just stay at the same velodrome, training with the same people, doing the same exercises for like 10, 15 years. Just, you know what I mean? I just thought it'd be a fun opportunity to change and obviously ride for the country that I was born in.
Who's the first person that you told that you were going to move?
Luke.
Who's
Luke, my friend Luke.
What did he say?
It's funny because I'd always talked with him about it for ages, because we're not started cycling together, but when I first started cycling in WA and got into WACE, he was in the WACE program, and I'm still obviously like best mates with him today. I know we talked about it for ages, like him and I, like, should I do it this year? Or like, when should I do it? Like, imagine if I actually did that. And I sat him down when I was in Perth over Christmas, and I was like, I'm doing it. Like, I'm going to do it. And he was like, are you sure? And I was like, the reason I'm telling you is because the whole time, every time I've talked to you about it, you've been like, yeah, do it. Like,
you probably never thought you would.
Do it. And you're like,
are you sure?
Down in I was like, but I guess that's what good friends do.
Yeah.
You know, just make sure that
it's the right decision.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And
was it a scary decision to make?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was, because it's just the unknown, isn't it, of like what's to come. But I think having Luke there to like talk about it like throughout the year was obviously really helpful. And then obviously my parents were always like, they were always, you know, they always knew. But I think the one person outside of my like mini little family was
were you two
was
dating
Luke.
at that point?
No.
No.
We were like kind of in like a like we've known each other since commies. And we've been like really good friends since commies.
So when did you tell
basically.
Emma?
In Adelaide? I think. When Adelaide World Cup is when I kind of approached GB, because they were in my hometown basically. I was like,
how did that go? Were you just
I just sat
hi guys?
them down and was just like, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
Like,
were they quite supportive?
What do you reckon? And they were just like,
yeah,
right.
they were all in. They were great. Yeah, you told me around then that you wanted to do it, and I was like, what? But obviously instead I was like, yay.
Yeah.
But obviously it's such a huge decision, and I could never, like, you moved your whole life. And how was that alongside the Olympics, like keeping it a secret and like moving? And because I guess you had the Olympics to focus on, but also you knew you were going to move. So
it was tricky, but I think I kind of thrive under chaos.
Yeah, you
like I need
do.
stuff going on, otherwise I'm like bored.
Yeah,
you know, I just need like this year. We've got world record going on and all sorts of different stuff, and we're buying a house and goodness knows what. So it's just absolute chaos. And it was kind of the same last year. So it kind of just kept me like healthily distracted from training.
Yeah.
You know, where like you go into the velodrome, you focus on training, you do what you need to do, and then you come home and I'm like, right, what do I need to pack? And you know, like, how am I gonna do this?
How am I gonna pack my life?
And what do I bring? Like that t-shirt or that t-shirt? Like I don't know. Because
that jumper, that coat.
I mean, I went to the games with a suitcase and then just didn't go back.
Do you not go back after the games? You came straight?
Yeah, that was it.
No way.
Yeah.
Straight.
Yeah. Yeah.
No way. How did your Aussie teammates take it?
Not very good, to be honest, but like, I don't know, I feel like that's a bit of a shame, but I also feel like it was taken poorly by, firstly, Oz Cycling, I think, kind of started the kind of pitchfork hunt. And then obviously Australian media jumps on it, and then it's kind of like the done thing to like hate on it. You know what I mean? So like the people that are still by my side are the ones that are my true friends, you know, and it's obviously difficult. And I think a lot of the emotion around not liking what I did came from people not knowing and the fact I kept it a secret. And I think it's just easy to see it from one point of view and hard to see it from the fact of if I'd come out about it or talked about it, that would have been a massive distraction to the entire like cycling team. People trying to focus on their own goals, working their whole careers towards the Olympics. And I've just made it about me and my move after the games. So like, I'm just going to keep this to myself and talk about it afterwards. You know, let people focus on what they need to do. You know, I kind of copped some backlash around, like I said, the secrecy and all that sort of stuff. But there's no way, if I came out about it beforehand, people would be like, how could you do that?
It would have been
like,
so much worse.
You're making it all about you. Like, why wouldn't you keep this to yourself until afterwards? Like, just focus on the games and then do this.
But you can't win, can you?
You can't win. So, like, I know what I did was the right way to go about things. And it created the least amount of distraction for me, for my team, for my friends, for my family, just everyone. You know, they can all go focus on the Olympics that they've worked so hard for. And me and my drama and my story can wait until after that.
And you mentioned like the negative sort of media side. How did you deal with that?
It was tough.
Did you expect it? Did you know it was
coming? Yeah. I didn't expect the reaction.
To that scale though?
Yeah, no, from the media, I didn't expect that sort of reaction from Oz Cycling, to be honest. You know, I was quite grateful and like thankful for what they'd done. Yeah. And then it was kind of just pitchforks the other direction. And, you know, it is what it is. I can't control that. But the thing is as well is all the negative media was on the other side of the pond.
Yeah.
That doesn't affect anything I do here. Any bit of feedback or anything that was said here was positive. Yeah. And ultimately that's the only thing that matters, you know, is the support that I get here in continuing my journey, because this is where I am and this is where I'm going to stay.
Yeah. Did you find it hard, like reading kind of negative things about your partner?
It wasn't great.
Yeah.
Like there was so much about you, and it just wasn't nice to see you go through that. I think it was really hard for me to like, because sometimes you'd read it or like, obviously you want to know what people are saying, because if you got questioned about it, you kind of want to be clued up about what was going on. But also like, I know the reason you moved here is because you want to pursue your dreams, and like ultimately you were born here, and everyone was, it was just a lot. And I think you dealt with it so well, but I could see it did hurt you, and it was really hard to like see someone you love go through that. But it's quietened down now, thank God.
Yeah.
But it was hard.
I feel like it made me almost more resilient though, as like a person, as an athlete. Like now if someone's like, pay back the taxpayers' money, it's just like, man, it's still going.
Yeah.
Like, year later, that's funny.
They love
you know what I mean? Like,
keep talking about you.
Hey, if anything, it raised the profile of track cycling in Australia for a couple months. Like, where was front page of the West Australian when I was doing well?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where's front page of the Western Australian when any track cyclist was doing well? Didn't exist.
And for the people who don't know, you were born in the UK.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. People just like, he got paid out. It's just like, no, I was born here. Like, I don't know what you want. But obviously it's just uneducated people slapping away on their keyboard, which is ultimately like kind of what I knew and kind of kept me where I needed to be emotionally.
And how are you finding it being back in the UK?
It's good. Obviously a lot colder, but I do an indoor sport, so that's okay. But it's just the same thing. A lot of people say this, or ask that question, but it's still track cycling. I'm still riding around in circles. I'm still in the gym, still on the track, doing the sort of day to day. Not a whole lot has changed. It was a bit hard at the start, trying to find somewhere to live and things like that, and you know, start up a new life somewhere different. But obviously having the support of Emma was huge.
Cute. And what have you got coming up next?
World Championships, 6 weeks in Chile, which should be good. So that's kind of the last thing to tick off this year before we can go on holiday. But yeah, I'm just trying to hold form from the record. There's not a whole lot of time to like re-go into training and try and build a new level. It's kind of just hold on for dear life.
Yeah.
And hopefully I can and perform well.
Well, we're actually running out of time, but it has been honestly such a good episode. It's been so kind of insightful to hear like your side of the story. And I feel like there's so much more we'd like to talk about.
We need a part 2.
Yeah, I think you should come back for part 2.
I'd absolutely love to. I mean, I love to chat. So yeah, it'd be great to come
Let's
back
do
on.
that.
You can go and enjoy golf now.
Oh, you can do golf?
Yeah, I've got 18 holes in like 25 minutes. So yeah, just rest day activities. You know, it is. Like kind of what I was talking about before, I got to keep myself busy.
Yeah.
It's one of those things.
He
Well,
loves it.
I hope it goes well and enjoy.
Thank
you for coming on the pod.
Thank you for having
you.
me. Thank you.